Hey YouTube, looking at battles submitted for a user Nabith8, and not that you're required to submit the battles in this form, but as someone receiving the battles, these battles were cut to the start and finish of the battles, labeled as win-losses, and there's an entire write-up here, which I'm going to read to you about how the team works and everything. So thank you for that. Again, you don't need to do that, but that is very, very, very easy from my perspective on how to do this. So wanted to submit a Great League remix for you. Earlier this season, I was up at 2,800. I lost a bunch and went down to 2,300. These battles were submitted in the 2,600. The team is standard double flyer ABB with Shadow Quag as the front. And then you have Mantine and Charizard in the back. Mantine is your safe swap to draw out sort of the weaknesses. They said even with Shadow Magnezone and stuff like that, Mantine is not the worst case scenario because if you have Water Pulse, you can still chip. Idea is simple: grab a shield advantage and let Charizard cook. In this meta, Charizard only fears Carbink. Even the Waters and Magnezone, it can handle shields up. So thank you for the submission. Thank you for the analysis. And that's basically it, right? So I actually just put out a video this morning with Quagsire and Mantine. So instead of Sableye, Charizard, ABB style instead of balanced. Let's take a look. So out comes a Mantine. We are staying in here. Going to go straight for the Stone Edge, trying to grab a shield or do really good chip here. And good chip. One fast move and a catch. Again, that is one of the easier ways to catch because a lot of people do that. So it is an air lace that you catch. That's okay. They are staying in and throwing, which is fine. Mantine can very easily take these moves. It is an Ice Beam. That chips a little more. This should take out. And it will. What do they have in the back that they're not coming in right away? Gligar. Gligar is fine. They're going to outpace you, so you probably just want to throw this move here just to get it off. As I say, that'd be a pretty aggressive farm down. Yeah, Quagsire with Octail should just handle this pretty easy. Trying to get the typings back on the screen here. Not quite. But yeah, this matchup's just super easy because the spamminess of Quagsire is really, really strong with the Aquatails. Okay, Carbink, this is where you want to see it if you're going to see it. And they are not getting out, which is crazy. Like, you really, if you're running Carbink, my boys are like one of the only things that you need to have answers for in the back. So the fact that they're not getting out here is very, very interesting. So they could get a Moonblast off. It almost may be worth a shield, but with Shadow Charizard, your main thing is to, let me just put the shadow there, is to just try and get shield advantage, right? So not going to burn the shield. Going to instant swap here almost blindly, which is fine. Getting that instant swap in. This is how much is I've got to imagine that with a Mantine with your IVs, it's probably going to take from a non-Shadow Gligar a couple Airy Laces to take out. Like 3. There's 1 or 2 plus very, very aggressive wing attacks. You should be able to get to your Air Lace before they farm down. They could just go for the farm down. And then at that point, no, they're going to try and go 2 Shield Shadow Vic without knowing what's in the back. I guess if you didn't have a double flyer, 2 Shield double Vic is not the worst strategy. Mirror match, going straight Aqua Tail. You do win CMP as well. So chips it just to half. Game does what the game does, kind of lags a bit. So now the question is, if you're going to try and catch, they are also, okay, instant try and catch. That's the thing. You won CMP, right? So it's more likely that they try and catch on you. So it's a very tricky situation. Very, very lucky that you both simultaneously swapped in. You swapped into a flyer right into a fighter. So you can do one of two things. You could throw it out here so you don't take another icy wind. That is exactly what you're going to do. Don't take an icy wind unnecessarily. And now you can probably chip here. They banked a couple mud shots. Can they get to a stone edge from this range? They can. So that will one shot. You have an energy advantage though, so they just dumped all their energy. So you can come in with Quagsire and just, yeah, easily take this out. Sort of, maybe it'll level like a couple HP that you could mud shot down. No, it does take out. And it is a fairy in the back, but it is Ninetales Fairy Ice running an ice move, which makes this trickier because these weather balls will come pretty quickly going for the bait. And they call the bait, but you know what? At this point, just keep going bait. I don't even think there's a point of faking it. I think you just go wing attack, Dragon Claw, bait multiple times because the wing attacks are adding up. And they're going to have to shield anyways. Back to back here. I can't tell if that was a game lag because you both have 2-turn fast moves. So I don't think you should be able to do that. Because if you both threw at the same time and you both have 2-turn fast moves, there's no reason that you should get back to back off there. They should get one in there. Okay, so I'm assuming this will be instant swap and met with a Jirachi. Someone in the comments wrote that a content creator put out Jirachi as like a core breaker, kind of at the same time that I put out Make Our Go. So again, as an answer to the flyer, it's not a bad answer. So do grab one shield, so that's nice. I assume let this go and just come in. Oh, trying to fight for switch, which I guess is not the worst case scenario. Trying to fight for a switch or grab the second shield because you have such a bad matchup on the lead. So do get the switch. I assume they'll just come Golbat. I'm assuming you just come Quagsire and just kind of sacrifice it. Just gonna chip it with Aqua Tail. They'll get to a Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball from a non-Shadow Golbat. Well, that one shot. I don't think so. I think you'll live a Shadow Ball. Yeah, and just get the... so they instant swap. Yeah, it's worth just getting this Dragon Claw off before they lower your attack. I think it's worth the shield. Because you're already at a Dragon Claw, you might want to throw this right away. So get the Dragon Claw. They'll have to shield because this plus the wing attacks will add up. They're going to have to throw Poison Jab. No, Poison Fang. Dragon. What? What just happened there? Okay, that was weird. Okay, here's a bad lead. Here's your Carbink. Here's your Water Pulses. Mantine's pretty tanky, not attack heavy. So this will not do like a third. Okay, over third. That's actually quite a lot of chip. Question is, do they throw right away? I just farm down if I'm them and come out with the Moonblast. Because they'll live a second one here. And just farm down and come out with the Moonblast to throw at the Quagsire. That's exactly what they're going to do. Wow. They're going to have to throw. Wow. I'm actually shocked how much that did. The IV's coming in huge there. That's a 1495. So unless it's like... unless it's like a weird 1495, like a high attack... I am shocked how much those Water Pulses did. I'm shocked at how much like you're able to do that. So now you have to go 2 shield here. Dugong. Dugong's tricky because Dugong, those ice shards are going to add up. Going straight Blast Print. I probably would have baited here because they're definitely going to shield. All right. You got they've got a good lead against you. They're going to lower your attack before you land a hard hitting move. So I think this is one where the bait was almost necessary. They're less likely to shield now though. They still might to get a second one off. Yeah, they still might to get the second ice. I think you have to shield. Yeah, I think you're gonna get this game's over anyways because you have no move on the front end. You gotta hope the switch clock comes up. baiting so you have some energy left. Yeah, you got to bait an instant swap and they'll be able to live, and then they'll come in here. They're still going to throw a move, take you out, which is interesting. I'm surprised they don't come straight Poliwrath from this situation here. Stone Edge will take out a couple counters, but I mean, Blast Burn won't take out from this range, even if you get to it, which you don't. Yeah, that was a tough. Yeah, I think you need to bait on the first and second Dragon with the Charizard. I think you need to bait Dragon Claw there. It seems like when you play this team, you're always you're staying in a lot with Quagsire to grab a shield. And I saw your write-up saying that you need to grab shields and let it cook. And there's your Mantine. Here's your Carbink again. So gonna get, let's see how much this does. Okay, 1494. Yeah, that still does like 40%. How much does Water Pulse do? I know it's a super effective move, but this is a Mantine against a Carbink. So I'm actually shocked that it's doing like 40%. I guess it is super effective, so I shouldn't be super surprised. Mantine, stab, 96 damage. So 1.75 damage per energy, and then you add on the super effectiveness, which is what, 20% on top of that. So yeah, I guess that makes sense that you're chunking that much. So get off another Stone Edge, and out comes a Feraligatr. Now the question is, you won't get outpaced. You're gonna have to shield. Who wins CMP? I was about to say, do you just try and win CMP, or can you just farm down here? You can farm down here. Holy, Feraligatr, so glassy. Yeah, shadow on shadow. Feraligatr, so glassy. So huge farm down there. That's when counting helps. And now you get a move here. You grab the shield, and then this is just Aqua Tail range at this point. So get an Aqua Tail off for the win. So nice jump around there. Victini, so they're terrible lead. They will get out here. Okay, they eventually get out into Jellicent. Yeah, Jellicent's tough. So I guess you have to Stone Edge and then go Mantine. Yeah, so they let it go now. Just Mantine to absorb these Shadow Balls. Staying with your concept, I would be very surprised if you shield here. Does this thing take out? No, you're too defensive. You're not attack heavy enough to take that out. Just a Surf. Question is, do they just try and Confusion down, or are they just gonna go for a move right away? They're gonna try and Confusion down. So grab a shield or do insane chip damage. That's fine. They do shield, and they have farmed. Besides is it just, unless they're running like a, do they have a Psychic Fast move? Or are they just running like 2 Nukes of Fire? We're about to find out. 2 Nukes of Fire. V-Create does chip. They might go back to back here. No. Now you just shield advantage. This thing's going to just one-shot. Could be Thunder. Even freaking Mirror Shot would hurt from this range. It is a Power Whip, which is very resisted, but getting to the Blast Burns. This will 100% one-shot. There's that. See, that's not a CMP, right? You got 2. That was a 2. This is what I'm saying. Like, I got same sort of scenario from the other way, where I had a Quagsire do 2 Mud Shots, and I tried to throw an Aqua Tail, so that's 2/2, that's 4, and then Octail, and I had a Ferrothorn go 3/3 and land a Power Whip on me before that, and that same thing there. You had 2 Wing Attacks, which is 4. Versus 1 Bullet Seed. Looks like they tried to throw there, but didn't get to. So this game, man, is really friggin' sucking right now. Yeah, the amount of crap that goes through when it shouldn't go through, and I really hope they fix this. But, you know, why would we fix GBO when we can have pretty backgrounds? Like, That's Niantic's thinking, right? More people will see the pretty backgrounds than will care about GBL, which I don't think is true, but that's their thought process behind all this. Gonna use Charizard's advantage here. Just going to, yeah, over farm, shield. That's fine. Come out with some energy. I don't know if you can get the full farm down with Wing Attack here. You're probably going to need to throw. Yeah, going to throw right before they get to a move. That's fine. You'll still come out with energy. They've got a Drifloon with not much left, so they're probably just forcing you to dump energy here, and then they'll just go one shield whatever in the back, which is a Charmer. Again, these charms still add up. Baiting here. Sort of your only win condition. I still think they charm you down before you even get to a move. Just going back to back here to maybe put, I know this is very resisted, but maybe it puts it in Aqua Tail range. No. And they're going to outcharm you. You have to, yeah, you're not in Aqua Tail range. So, good idea baiting, but yeah, it's just kind of screwed from the start there. So they're going to get up. This is an easy answer here. As we'll say, CMP here. As we'll say, try and throw it before they throw it, but once they get that sort of counter advantage, I think they always get to the move first. So Icy Wind does that up. The thing is, even if they land a second, you should be able to farm down if you want. Or you can throw to not take a second one. Yeah, throw to not take a second. What was on the lead again? Tentacruel, because Tentacruel you'll still chip. That's a weird shield. Because you don't need to shield and you can still farm down. Yeah, that's a very weird shield. So you still farm down, you have energy, you got shield advantage. Your attack is lower twice, so this will do nothing. But now you're up a shield advantage. Like I don't know what that shield was. That was a weird shield. Your opponent has to try and two shield whatever in the back to win here. So you chip, you get another one. They could scald you here. They could stay in and scald you and try and get that shield back. And that's exactly what they're going to do. And then maybe they'll give it up. But if they're assuming that you're running Aqua Tail, they may not get it up. And what was that? Oranguru. When the heck is the last time you've seen an Oranguru? Very bulky, but get the Stonage off there. Got a shield. I don't know if you want to take a foul play here, so you might want to throw. Yeah. And just Dragon Claw here. Back-to-back Dragon Claws. Chip it enough that it's in Mud Bomb range. Or take it out, probably. Oh, going for the Blast Burn. Because they're going to go... I guess their only win condition is a farm down. I don't know what their win condition is. Maybe a farm down. Anyways, that is it. My stomach is growling. I'm starving. So thanks for this mission. And thanks for making it so easy for me to showcase. Yeah, coming out of this, so we didn't see Magnezone. What we did not see is an Electric. We saw Carbink, which is a very, very hard answer to Mantine and Charizard, but nowhere near as hard as I thought it would be on Mantine, because those Water Pulses, like, really chipped. Like, really chipped. So I was actually shocked about that. So it's interesting from that perspective. It would be interesting. Let me just run a sim to see how much a Mantine versus Mantine with Water Pulse, how much that will do to a Shadow Magnezone and how much these Volt Switch do. So I'm going to give you one shield and I'm going to give them 0. Let's just maximize stat products just to see we're all on the same level here. Okay, so you still lose because, okay, getting a Water Pulse does 54 damage, 52%. So getting that would put the Magnezone down to 30. But these Volt Switches would do 19 damage, 15.4% each. So even if you go straight Water Pulse, why? Let me just see this. Why did they not shield? No, yeah. So even going straight Water Pulse and them not shielding anything, they will take you out on the Volt Switch with 24 health left and then come out with a bunch of energy. Now that energy is kind of useless on Quagsire, but yeah, it would be a much, much more difficult matchup there. But 24 is not insignificant, right? So you're basically taking your Carbink that low anyways too, to then wall it. So not a terrible strategy. Overall, clearly worked. Good combo. Like again, if you're gonna try and use this strategy, as you saw, sometimes they sit in with the Quagsire to try and grab the shield. Like the thought process is you need to grab shields. You need to do two things. You need to grab shields with Quagsire and Mantine. Mantine may be a little tricky to grab shields with, which is why they stay in with Quagsire to try and grab shields. And then the second thing is you need to try and draw out either that Magnezone or that Carbink with Mantine, because if you get it on the Charizard, it's just going to get deleted. Anyways, thanks for the submission. And that is it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.